Kayla, right?
Which one?
Knowles. 16.
Oh,
20, I assume, would be Kaylani.
Kehlani, yeah. At least.
It's either Maja Kayla or Maja Kayla or Ma Kayla. I'm going to go Maja Kayla.
How's it spelled?
M-A-J.
K-A-E-L-A-H. Kayla, I'm thinking is okay, but is it Maja Kayla, you think?
Or Maha Kayla?
Maha Kayla?
What's her last name?
Knowles.
Oh, so it's okay, so she doesn't have like a definite.
I think it's Kayla. It's just either Maja or Maha. Why don't we just call her Knowles?
I can go ask someone if you want to.
I'm trying to.
I don't know. I'll go ask a few of these.
Yeah, she plays 4 games and had a goal. Yeah, that double host is gonna be brutal next Wednesday.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. You were without a headset. Sorry, I meant to tell you. Have you done lacrosse yet? Just keep the ball in frame. Yeah. Treat it just like soccer. You'll be fine. Do you have any? As far as like protocol goes, there's 2 halves. Once one team is up by 10, the clock doesn't stop. I think 3 timeouts a game, that kind of thing. That ought to be it. Don't worry about trying to get subs. I think they just run off and on. Also, I mean, you don't really need to worry about like getting any like special shots or anything like that. Just stay wide-ish and follow the action. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. All right, you the man. All right.
This will be different.
Aaron and Jason, you guys back yet? Both of you? Oh man, that's so cool. Aaron, you were on an insert camera for men's lacrosse, yeah? Alright, that's cool. And so Jace. Tell him to go hop on another headset. Alright, so there's a couple of rule changes while we're waiting. It's 2 halves, not 4 quarters. There's a mercy rule, so if any team is up by 10, the clock does not stop. So that's pretty great. I think 3 timeouts per game. And then don't worry about getting subs. I think they just run off and on. Hey, Jace. Alright, so there's some protocol differences for women's lacrosse if you're not aware of them. It's 2 halves, not 4 quarters. There's like 3 timeouts a game. Subs just run off and on, so don't worry about trying to get subs. And if any team is up by 10 or more, the clock doesn't stop. This team is not that great. So they've given up 60 points in the last 3 games, and I think they've only scored 3. So it should go pretty quick with the clock stoppage rule. Subs run on ours, hit subs. What was I about to say? So at the beginning of the game, if you remember the men's lacrosse, there's like a face-off. There's a face-off for women's too, which is a little different. They do it standing. So if you and Aaron both put your cameras on and like get them like, a pretty good close-up. I mean, waist high at least. And then whoever's got the best, I'll go to that. You get players who score. After they players who score. When they call penalties, they sort of like stop play. So, and they stop play. They give cards. So whenever a penalty is called, like go where the ref is at because they'll be resetting play.
I think they also stop play after goals to check the stick, don't they?
And they also stop play after a goal. They stop the play after each goal to check the net depth, which is ridiculous. But we don't really need to see that. We just need to see the girl that scored. and then when the refs are like resetting play after a penalty is called, show that. Any questions? Cool. Somebody's menu is on. Okay, alright, cool. The levels all look good, so we're not worried about that. We might, while play is happening, like, if y'all remember, like, if play is happening underneath the scaffolding consistently, then I'll ask y'all to point your cameras over there and get that wide. So, there we go. Game's gonna be starting in like 2.5 minutes. So do what you guys need to do to stay warm. I know it sucks being out there in the cold. Don't say nothing. There you go. But if at any point you need to step off your camera for whatever reason, as long as it's not a sissy reason, just let me know. Just so I know where you're at, alright? And then the video is live, so we're not on those cameras right now. Alrighty. So, and just so you're aware, Jim, the process to get the video going is actually pretty involved for me. It's a little bit different than what I've got to do with my other switcher, because I don't have as many HDMI inputs on this. So when I'm prepping to play a video, I've got to turn the scoreboard off, take
Okay.
it.
Alright. She did a bunch for me. So, there's a handful of players not playing.
Yeah, they're only doing 11.
So she goes by K Abadullahai,
Okay.
but she goes by K.
K?
Yeah, just like K.
Have
Dullahai. This girl just goes by Magic, so they don't the Michaela one we couldn't figure out. She just goes by Magic.
I don't think we're gonna try to get anything special for the anthem or anything like. I don't think we're gonna try to get anything special for the anthem or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay wide until the.
And then she
actual
just goes by
broadcast
K
starts for
also.
real.
K
Welcome, everyone, to the fields at Southern Virginia University. I'm Jim Bresnahan. I'm joined by Seth Hansen. We're ready to bring you women's lacrosse action today from Southern Virginia University. The fields at Southern Virginia University as the Southern Virginia University Knights, you can see right there, getting ready to take on the Cavaliers of Montreat College out of North Carolina. The Knights come into this game today, coming off their first win of the year against Hollins earlier this week on Tuesday. They defeated Hollins 18-9. Improving their record to 1-3 on the season. They're facing a Montreat team today that is 0-3 on the season, Seth. And as a result of some roster problems, Montreat only has 11 players for today. So the Knights will go with 11 players, and we'll hope that everything proceeds on schedule due to the reduced numbers for the opponents today in Montreat Cavaliers.
Yeah, you mentioned the Southern Virginia Knights. They're coming off a big win at Hollins. I know that they are looking to build off that momentum. Montreat, the season hasn't started how they had hoped, but they come in confident and hoping that they can get things on track for themselves this week. They are playing down a player short, but it still should be an exciting game. A sunny, beautiful day at the fields today.
Yeah, beautiful weather out there as far as just clear skies and vistas in every direction. The only problem would be, I guess, for the players who, as you can see, are in some cases going with shorts today, is the chilly temperatures will have probably highs no more than in the 40s.
Yeah, and everyone working on the production team to bring you this live. I know we're all bundled up as best we can, but the players, as soon as they get running and rolling, I'm sure they'll warm up, won't be thinking about the temperature. They'll dial it in and be focused on trying to bring a victory to their team.
Yeah, the Knights are obviously trying to get their first winning streak of the season, trying to defeat Montreat today to go to 2-3 with Emmanuel coming up on Wednesday. So they're hoping for a win today and a win Wednesday to even up the record at 3-3. Montreat, though, as you mentioned, 0-3 on the season. They have played 3 games, and they have given up 60 goals in 3 games. They have scored just 3 goals in 3 games. So that's an unreal differential there as goals scored versus goals given up, 3-60.
Yeah, and Montreat certainly is a building program at the time, but Coach Ferguson has been brought in. This is her second year heading the women's lacrosse program at Montreat, and their athletic director has the highest praise for Coach Ferguson. He said that Coach Ferguson is exactly what we're looking for, a competent, knowledgeable coach who's demonstrated the ability to build a lacrosse team from the ground up. That's pretty high praise. Her alma mater, she played at Western Michigan University, as well as she's got a good coaching experience at Oklahoma Baptist University, where she led them to the playoffs. So she certainly knows what she's doing. It is definitely a process to build the program, but the Montreat feels good about what they're starting over there.
And by the way, we mentioned the temperatures in the 40s today. Some teams know where to go. You know, baseball this weekend is at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The baseball team for the Knights won yesterday 15-0 over John Jay, and they're playing a doubleheader today in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And we talked about the Knights playing today and then also playing at home against Emmanuel Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. After that, the following week on the 15th and 16th of March, they'll be playing back-to-back dates at Hilton Head, South Carolina. So baseball's in Myrtle Beach this weekend, and in about a week and a half, it's going to be this women's lacrosse team headed to Hilton Head, South Carolina. So we are almost ready to go here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. And again, the Knights coming off that big win over Hollins. They opened up the season losing to St. Mary's 21-1. Then fell to Ferrum 12-9 and Hood 12-8. Losing to Hood at Hood last weekend, and again on Tuesday defeated Hollins 18-9. Ready to get play underway today with Emily Winslow participating in the opening draw here with the Montreat Cavaliers. Knights will try to get off to a good start here. Looks like there might be an equipment problem right off the bat. And you'll see this, obviously, Seth, mainly after goals, but I've never recall seeing it before the opening draw, basically, that a problem with the stick or perhaps the net.
Yeah, definitely unusual. It is custom in women's lacrosse to check all equipment before the game starts. Looks like something got past the referees there, and they found the issue now.
So it looks like Emily is going to go ahead and change. Change sticks for the opening draw. Knights led in scoring so far this year, needless to say, by one of their top players, perhaps their top player, Zoe Bradshaw, the senior, 5'4" senior out of Stevensville, Montana. She had 43 goals last year. So far, 10 goals this year. 10 goals in 4 games. So I guess because of the equipment problem, it looks like Montreat is going to be awarded the opening possession. And we are underway here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. For those who joined us, of course, for men's lacrosse recently, Seth, they play 4 quarters, 15-minute quarters, and here it is 2 halves. Each half is 30 minutes. Montreat still with possession. Knights trying to gain possession and go over on the offensive. Although Montreat, I would imagine too, perhaps this is just the general way they play, Seth, but with the reduced numbers, I would imagine they're looking to really extend the game as much as possible. And when they've got ball, try to hang on to possession of it and, really work the clock a little bit unless they really have a fantastic opening.
Yeah, and having given up as many goals as they have this season, defense has certainly been a problem, an issue they're working on. So the longer they can possess the ball, they limit the opportunities for Southern Virginia to score. And that's definitely got to be in their game plan. Though they did just have a turnover there as the Knights go the other way.
That's Claire Hoteling taking it away, and now the Knights will move it upfield. That's Ashley Lessing with it. Over to the left side to Lauren Thatcher. Lauren works in close and scores. Lauren Hatcher. That will be her 9th goal of the season. So it didn't take long for the Knights. Just a little over a minute to get their first goal of this game. And again, Lauren Hatcher with the goal right there. Lauren, a 5'6" freshman out of Vail, Arizona. She has now 9 goals on the season.
And Lauren, she's keeping pace with Zoe Bradshaw, as trying to lead the team in goals. And if they want to continue this win streak and continue going forward, they're going to need both of those players to show up big, along with Claire Houtailing, who has she's third on the team with 7 goals. So good production from those 3 to lead the team, this young program that Southern Virginia has at the moment.
Knights, we mentioned, open up the season in capital play against St. Mary's, losing that one 21-1. Their next capital game will not be coming up until March the 23rd against Christopher Newport. And just like every season in women's lacrosse, you've got several teams that are either expected, I guess, or going to be maybe at the end of the season at the top of the capital standings. And needless to say, as we talked about in the men's lacrosse game last weekend, of course, Seth, how dominant the Salisbury Seagulls have been. Same deal here in women's lacrosse action. Salisbury expected by many to be the top team.
Yeah, and some of those schools they have a knack to produce the same in both sports, both men's and women's. Is a good, nice goal there by
that was Zoe Bradshaw.
Number 10. She's her 11th on the season. That was really good stick work there to weave her way in and find the empty net.
And really, we saw that with Thatcher. Now Zoe Bradshaw. The Knights just able to work through that Montreat defense relatively easily.
Yeah, they're wasting no time. I think it's obvious they've found some weaknesses in Montreat's defense. They're not wasting any time to try and exploit that.
So the Knights, again, all in less than 2 minutes, able to pick up 2 goals. I want to make mention, Southern Virginia fans, gear.svu.edu, the place to get your official Southern Virginia University athletic apparel. All sweatshirts now 10% off for a limited time. That is at gear.svu.edu. So the Knights have a couple of goals, one by Thatcher, one by Bradshaw. And Claire Hoteling will be involved in this draw as the Knights try to gain possession and move up this 2-0 score.
Do you have enough slack on your cable? Do you have enough slack?
So the possession goes to Montreat. The Cavaliers down 2-0, moving it upfield. trying to get into the possession, getting very close to the Southern Virginia goal. Looking for a shot now, trailing 2-0, but the Knights take it away. Starting, by the way, in goal today for the Knights is Kay Torres Lopez, and she's been doing very, very well this season, splitting time in the goal as the goalkeeper. So the Knights with a 2-0 lead, moving it upfield. Southern Virginia trying to build upon a 2-0 lead. This is Magic Knowles with it on the right side. Trying to work her way in for a shot. Passes it. Back over to the left now. Montreat with a takeaway, moving it upfield, or attempting to, but they lose it. And back come the Knights. And Southern Virginia turns it over. Jostling for the ball. Who's going to gain possession? Southern Virginia trying to scoop it up and go. That is Thatcher, who got the first goal of the game for the Knights. Back the other way in a hurry. We talked about how Montreat, Seth, has tried to really play conservative on offense, trying to hold the ball and maybe run a little clock, and it seems like on defense they're kind of backing off too, and you got to figure, again, with no players on the bench and limited roster spaces, they don't want to overexert. Depth obviously is a huge concern this season and certainly today for the Montreat Cavaliers.
And the same can be said for the Southern Virginia Knights as well. They've had a number of injuries. They've had a player who was deemed ineligible right before the start of the season. I know that was a big blow for the team. So they only have 2 people on the bench for substitutes today as well. So both teams trying to stay healthy, trying to play as hard as they can, but they need to play smart as well so they can keep players on the field.
Yeah, you mentioned Rainey not being eligible, and I know they had appealed that and were hopeful, but it does look like it's going to come to pass. And that's a huge loss because she was just a tremendous player for the Knights the last few seasons.
And not just her skill in the field, but that leadership we always talk about in sports. It's so key for your program and team to excel. You need someone to rally behind, and I know that some of these younger players definitely looked at her as their leader to follow as the season was going to happen and move on.
It's been a challenge without her and all the other injuries the Knights have suffered this season as Zoe Bradshaw passes into the middle, but Montreat had the takeaway, but the Knights grab it back. That's Thatcher with it. Thatcher has a goal. Zoe Bradshaw has a goal. This is Hoteling with it on the right side. Knights a little deliberate, looking for something perhaps in the middle. Nice pass, but the shot is awry by the Knights. I believe that was Knowles with the shot, but not able to hit it. Still, the Knights have possession. Passing towards the middle, but Montreat grabs it on the Knights' turnover. You can see on the defense for Montreat, they really pack it in. And again, maybe it's because of the reduced numbers, but when the Knights are playing maybe 10, 15 yards away from the goal, they've got a pretty loose defense. Once the Knights get close, it's a pretty tight defense. And Montreat with a shot.
Shot and scored. That was a nice little run there. Montreat saw their advantage. They had advantage in numbers and took it all the way, taking advantage of the lack of, I guess, hustle, or they just caught them in a weird defense there.
That was Amber Hill, who had one of the 3 goals this season heading into today's action for Montreat, and she just picked up her second goal of the season. So Montreat, a team that had only scored 3 goals in 3 games, picks up a goal here in the first 5.5 minutes.
In Southern Virginia, they know, I'm sure they're aware of the record Montreat has and kind of where the program is at, but they definitely need to put their best effort out on the field. You can't ever sleep at this level of lacrosse. You always got to put out your best effort because the other team's definitely going to do that, and you don't want to give up a game that you feel like you really should win.
As you mentioned, Seth, that was a good shot, obviously, by Amber Hill, but it was also a situation where the Cavaliers did a great job advancing the ball upfield.
And that might be the best offense for Montreat right now. It's sometimes it's easy to turn the ball over when Southern Virginia is swarming so hard. If you see a lane, that might be their best opportunity for them to just take it and take their best shot on goal.
And Montreat winning the faceoff and moving it upfield. Suddenly they get a goal and this game's tied. And Montreat works it into the middle and scores. Good effort by Montreat to weave through defenders and get the goal. And again, with the goal there is Amber Hill, the sophomore, who just picked up her second goal of this game and third goal of the season. And just like that, Montreat with 2 goals to tie the game after they had fallen behind here 2-0.
That was really nice athleticism and stick work by Amber Hill there. Staying composed, realizing she's got an opportunity, using good footwork, and placed the shot nicely to score there.
So Montreat, after falling behind 2-0, suddenly coming back, and it's tied at 2. And we'll see if the Knights can respond and win this draw and maybe retake the lead. That's going to be Knowles taking this draw for the Knights. But it looks like Montreat's going to win this face-off. Scramble for the loose ball. Knights are trying to pick it up and hold on to it and advance it. And
Good.
Southern Virginia has it.
Good hustle there by Maddie Dupay, getting in there, finding the loose ground ball, and able to scoop it up for her team.
This is Knowles. Magic Knowles, sophomore from Owings, Maryland. Nice pass in the middle. But before Ashley Lessing could take the shot, she lost control of the ball. And now the Cavaliers have it. Although I believe they're going to switch and award possession to the Knights. Knights have 3 shots on goal, 2 shots on goal for the Cavaliers.
We mentioned just a few moments ago, Maddie Dupay there had a nice play to pick up the ball. She's the daughter of the head football coach, Joe Dupay, and she actually just received a mission call this week to serve a 2-year LDS mission in Orem, Utah, which is where she originally moved from to come out here. So she's kind of going home to teach some of her old friends and family, I'm sure.
I can tell that you're okay. There it is. So how are you situated? Now it's black. Now it's
And we played just over 7 minutes in this first half, and the Knights and Montreat all tied here at 2. Referee's trying to sort out who's got possession. It looks like Montreat's got it, but they throw it away. Knights scoop it up. Zoe Bradshaw has it. She's looking for an opening. Weaving through 3 defenders and scores.
Nice athleticism there. That was a really nice play by Zoe. Just taking it herself, realizing she had the advantage, that she might have had some quickness on the defenders, and she definitely made the most of it there. Big play for the Knights.
And that is her 12th of the season and her second goal today. So the Knights are back on top here, 3-2.
do me a favor first tilt down a little bit, Patrick. Yeah.
So Zoe Bradshaw gets the goal, second of the game. And again, for the season now, Zoe, who had 43 goals last year, has just picked up her 12th goal of the season. And the Knights are back on top 3-2. And now we'll see if the Knights can build upon that lead. Because remember, they jumped down on top 2-0. But they allowed Montreat to get 2 goals to tie it. Now the Knights have retaken the lead.
All right, that looks better. All right.
Magic Knowles will take this face-off for the Knights against Miranda Walker, senior attack for Montreat.
So I'm gonna stay.
Knights had a chance to scoop that up. Still trying to grab it. Real battle for the ball.
I think it's mainly going out when we're when we're pointed to the right.
Looks like the Knights will take it here, trying to advance this 3-2 lead. And advancing it quickly is Ashley Lessing into the attack area.
It's right there. So whatever you're doing.
Ashley over on the right side, looking for a passing opportunity here.
All right, you're the man. Thanks.
Try to pass that towards the middle. Instead, passes it outside, and the pass goes awry as she was trying to hit Maddie Dupay. Maddie able to track it down, though. Nice pass in the middle to Hoteling. Passes towards the middle. Shot blocked by the goalkeeper.
It was a nice save there by number 21, Amira Moyes, for Montreat. They're going to need more play like that if they want to win this game.
Yellow card is called here. Ruling. I think that was Magic Knowles coming off. So after the yellow card, looks like the Cavaliers will have it as the Knights hold on to a 3-2 lead here in this first half of action. So Montreat trying to move it up the field here, down by 1. They'll go to their goalkeeper for a pass. Upfield, almost intercepted by the Knights. Tiger Breeden with it right now for the Cavaliers. Montreat's actually got to be pretty pleased with the way things have gone here in the first 10 minutes or so, Seth, after they fell behind 2-0, that they're only down here 3-2.
And we mentioned Coach Ferguson before. She definitely knows what she's doing. I'm sure she's taken a look at those first 3 games, has made the adjustments, and her team seems to be responding right now. They're playing very well.
Remember, in the first 3 games, this is a Montreat team that gave up 60 goals and only scored 3. But so far, doing pretty well here against the Knights, only down 3-2 in the first half.
You see them taking their time here. They want to hold on to that ball as long as they can.
Pass towards the goal, or a shot, and it was deflected away momentarily by Torres Lopez. Again, the goalkeeper here is Kay Torres Lopez, 5'8" freshman out of Florida, Lake Noto, Florida. She's been splitting time for the Knights in goal along with Madeline Krause, freshman from Bakersfield, California. So the Knights with a 1-goal lead here and trying to move it upfield. Emily Winslow with it. Knights have had 4 shots on goal in this first half so far. Just 2 shots on goal for Montreat. Lessing moving towards behind the goal. Play stopped again. See what Lessing will do here. Working close. And a good stop by the goalkeeper for Montreat, who will fire that pass upfield. Amber Hill, who's got 2 goals, both of the goals for Montreat. Scored by number 9. That's Amber Hill with it. She's working through defenders, or attempting to. Knights thought they had the takeaway. Diving in there for the Knights was Madeline Krause.
That was a better job on defense for the Knights there. Recognizing that Amber Hill, 2 goals already, she was streaking down the field. They were able to get back and slow her down and eventually force the turnover.
Yeah, both teams really know who to circle as far as who to watch. You got to figure it's Amber Hill for Montreat and Zoe Bradshaw for the Knights. So Montreat had it and now loses it, and the Knights will take it back. This is Magic Knowles working her way upfield. She slides by 1 defender, looking for someone to pass to. Gives
Warren
it to
Thatcher.
Yep.
Nice
Thatcher working
lane.
close. And that shot goes off to the right. Boy, Thatcher really worked herself into good position, had a good look at the goal.
Yeah, I imagine her eyes got really big as she got that ball there, but unfortunately couldn't put it on net.
Knights will try with a pass to work it to Claire Hoteling. Claire trying to get a shot off. Doesn't see an opening. Passes back to Thatcher. Nice pass from Hoteling to Thatcher. Wide open, and she picks up her second goal today. And the Knights now with a 4-2 lead as Thatcher's got 2 goals and Bradshaw has 2 goals.
That was really good stick work, good passing there. Kind of looked like a give and go that you see in basketball. Hoteling back to Thatcher, and Thatcher was able to finish there. It was a really good offense. That's the kind of play that Coach Weber wants to see from her team.
Yeah, Lauren Thatcher again picking up goal number 10 of the season. So with just over 18 minutes to go to halftime, the Knights now are back to a 2-goal lead here at 4-2. Little celebration there from Lauren. That was a nice pass, though, by number 7, Claire Hoteling, who will take the draw this time for the Knights. Not as busy a sports weekend this weekend, Seth, for the Knights as a general rule because men's volleyball not in action this weekend. They're not playing until next Friday at King, Tennessee. And baseball's got that doubleheader, but men's lacrosse also in action, taking on Birmingham Southern in Knoxville today. Got women's lacrosse action, obviously, today, but softball, which was able to split with Roanoke earlier this week, they're not in action until next week, so they've got the weekend off.
You mentioned men's lacrosse. They got a big victory over Bridgewater in overtime, an 11-10 victory earlier this week. Another big win for Coach Lamb as they keep that season rolling.
And Thatcher passes to Hoteling and scores. So, pretty about fair play. Hoteling was able to hit Hatcher with a nice pass, hitting Thatcher just a few minutes ago for her second goal. And now Thatcher passes to Hoteling, and she picks up, I believe, her 8th goal of the season. She had 17 goals last season, and Claire able to pick up the Knights' goal here, the senior, 5'9" senior from Peachtree City, Georgia. And she makes it 5-2 Southern Virginia. So after Montreat was able to tie the game, the Knights have been able to run off 3 unanswered goals. And now it looks like the Knights will have Winslow take this draw. So Hoteling's got a goal. Thatcher's got 2 goals. Bradshaw has 2 goals. And the Knights are on top here 5-2 now. Remember, the Knights built a 2-0 lead, saw Montreat come back with a couple of goals, Seth, and now they've got a 3-goal lead here, and they're hoping to really build upon this lead and not allow Montreat to make a comeback.
Yeah, the Knights are really starting to find their groove now. They're seeing those passing lanes, and taking advantage. I'm sure that's something that Coach Weber is preaching from the sideline. And here we go. We see Zoe Bradshaw at it again, trying to push the offense and push for another goal.
Nobody's better, I think, than Zoe at weaving her way upfield and going around defenders. And she works over and works a nice pass to the middle.
That was a really nice save there by Amira Moyes, number 21, the goalkeeper from Montreat. She's getting the fast break started the other way. Hopefully the Knights can get back.
Yeah, Lessing had a great pass from Bradshaw and had a great look at the goal. But as you mentioned, a nice stop by the goalkeeper for Montreat. And now the Cavaliers still only trail by 3. Well, next week we've got double headers for you. We've got men's and women's lacrosse coming up next Wednesday. Women will be taking on Emmanuel, and the men, I believe, will be taking on the Merchant Marine. And, of course, a week from today, we've got a softball doubleheader. Wilson will be the opponent for Southern Virginia University. And congratulations also earlier this week to the women's softball team. They were able to defeat Roanoke College in the first game of a doubleheader, picking up their first win of the season. And Megan Harmon was able to pitch a complete game shutout in that one. Knights on top here, 5-2. This is Thatcher moving it upfield. Southern Virginia tries to build upon a 3-goal lead. Thatcher looking for someone to throw it to and gives it over to Zoe Bradshaw. And Zoe got hit, I think, in the face or close to the face by a stick. And it looks like maybe the guilty party in Ireland Hampton is coming off.
Yeah, you're blacked out. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Yep, there it is. All right, yep.
So the numbers belong to the Knights, and we'll see if Southern Virginia can take advantage here and get their 6th goal of the first half with Bradshaw over on the right side, working through 2 or 3 defenders, trying to maybe do a spin move and hook around. Looks for an opening. It looked like Zoe took another stick here, and the flag goes up for maybe another penalty. Looks like Amber Hill is going to be called for that one. Slashing.
And that'll be a big blow to Montreat. They need her on the field as much as they can, as she's been their biggest offensive threat today.
You know, if you're the defense, it's tough to decide what you're going to do with Zoe Bradshaw when she is firmly in control of the ball and has the ability like that to really weave around defenders. So we'll see if the Knights can take advantage of the numbers game here and score with 15:52 to go in this first half. Looks like play is ready to resume here with the Knights on top 5-2. Knowles scores. So Magic Knowles able to score. She's the sophomore from Owings, Maryland, and she just picked up, I believe, her 2nd goal of the season. From Owings, Maryland, went to Northern High School. And that gives the Knights an even bigger lead here. So we've got a timeout here on the field, and we'll break away for this message. Don't forget, fans, gear.svu.edu, the place to get your official Southern Virginia University athletic apparel. All sweatshirts now 10% off for a limited time. Jim Bresnahan and Seth Hansen, we are back here at the fields at Southern Virginia University as the Knights have been able to build a 6-2 lead right now over the Montreat Cavaliers.
Montreat's definitely got to be feeling the pressure a little bit now. They're going to, I'm sure, be trying to get the ball back to Amber Hill, as she's got 2 goals on the game already. She's been their nicest attack, kind of some open field runs where she's taken advantage of the Knights' defense, some holes in that defense. The Knights seem to have made the adjustment, though, to shut her down since that point.
Knights have been able to build upon this big lead. They started the game off with 2 quick goals. Montreat came back with 2 goals by Amber Hill, and then The Knights since then have been able to rattle off 4 unanswered goals. Montreat, the last few times down, really having a hard time, Seth, maintaining possession of the ball. And when the Knights get it close, they have lots of weapons to rely upon in Zoe Bradshaw, also Lauren Thatcher, Claire Hoteling, and also that last goal by Magic Knowles.
And just like in any sport, turnovers will kill you. Coach Ferguson, she may have a good offensive and defensive game plan set up for him, but on offense, if you're turning the ball over, if you're not making clean passes, that offense can't really take effect. So you got to start with the fundamentals, make sure those are down before you can really start excelling out on the field.
Lee Winslow will take this draw here for the Knights. And Mariah Davison will take it for Montreat. Knights with 4 straight goals after the game was tied at 2. Montreat gaining possession off the draw. Knights trying to steal it away. That's Zoe Bradshaw batting it away. Picked up by a teammate. And here come the Knights with possession again after the ball was retrieved by Ellie Johnson. Bradshaw making the pass to DePay. And now Maddie DePay over to Thatcher. Down low to Hoteling. Unable to get that shot to go, but the Knights still have it. Hoteling's got a goal today. Clear, looking for someone to pass to. Gets it into the middle. Knowles with it. Doesn't see an opening, backs it out. Nice pass inside, and the Knights get the goal. That is Ellie Johnson, who worked her way close to the goal and got a nice pass. And now the Knights build upon that 6-2 lead and turn it into a 7-2 advantage.
That was a really good find there by Magic. She was working her way back and forth, trying to get the defense to slide, and found Allie Johnson down by the net. Great offense there by the Southern Virginia Knights.
And Ellie Johnson, a 5'5 freshman out of Northborough, Massachusetts, just picked up her second goal of the season. So the Knights now have extended that lead to 5. It was a worthy comeback after trailing 2-0 by Montreat, getting a couple of Amber Hill goals to even the game at 2. But since then, it's been all Knights. They've responded by ripping off 5 straight goals. As Emily Winslow will take this draw here for the Knights with 14:42 left until halftime. Knights have a good draw, win possession. Thatcher quickly moves it upfield. Knights, though, try not to lose it. Thatcher still has it. Works it back towards the middle. Knights looking for a shot here. Over to Zoe Bradshaw. Zoe tries to split defenders. And we got a whistle. You know, when Zoe makes a move, it's tough for Montreat to find a way to stop her.
And Bradshaw just has such good field vision right now. She's really feeling the game, letting it come to her as she's making those nice cuts.
So we thought about taking a run at the goal, but instead passes in the middle, and that time it's knocked away. Montreat trying to grab it. Knights still trying to hang on to it. Southern Virginia does. That's Knowles, Magic Knowles with it. You see how tight that Montreat inner defense is. Pass is ill-advised and taken away by Montreat. Montreat was trying to work it upfield, but the Knights are able to get the takeaway. Hoteling left, right in the middle to Thatcher. Nice block, though, by the goalkeeper. Thatcher, another good look at a potential goal. Moyes, the 5'3" freshman goalkeeper for Montreat, making a good stop there, Seth. And, boy, she has really had a tough time this half. A lot of the action, unfortunately, for the Cavaliers have been right in front of her.
Yeah, and there's not much she can do about that. She's got to just hold her ground in the goal there and hope for the best sometimes. She definitely has made a couple really nice saves. The Knights are still putting a lot of pressure, a lot of heat on her at the moment.
The goalkeeper for the Knights, though, in Kay Torres-Lopez, outside of a couple of Amber Hill goals, she has really not faced a whole lot of opposition. At last I checked, I think the Montreat Cavaliers only had 3 shots on goal. Cavaliers still have it here. They have 2 goals, but both were scored by Amber Hill, and the Knights get the takeaway here with Ellie Johnson. The Knights trying to build upon a 5-goal lead. Thatcher passes towards the middle. Now they go back to the left. Zoe Bradshaw weaving through defenders. Bumped as she tried to go through a couple of defenders. According to the numbers, Knights have 10 shots on goal, just 2 shots on goal for Montreat. And no saves, actually, by the goalkeeper for the Knights. She's given up 2 goals, and that's it for the Montreat offense. Bradshaw works towards the goal.
And she scores.
Nice goal by Zoe Bradshaw. Her 3rd, I believe, today. And for Zoe, that'll be 13 on the season.
That's a really strong start for her. And something Coach Weber, I'm sure, is hoping she'll continue. They're going to need it as they go forward and begin conference play here in the next few games. They're going to definitely need all the goal scoring they can get, and good strong start by Zoe Bradshaw.
And that shot, Seth, looked like to be a pretty good low shot, too.
Yeah, I think the more you keep it low, skip it off the turf, it makes it really difficult for that goalie to see what's going on to make the save.
6 goals in a row by the Knights. They are now on top 8-2 here in the first half of action. And Winslow will take the draw again for the Knights. And she's done a pretty good job last few times winning the draws by bringing it backwards for the Knights. Amber Hill, who has the 2 goals for Montreat, taking this draw here for the Cavaliers. And Amber Hill's able to come away with it, at least momentarily. Loses the ball. Referees blow it dead. So it'll be still Cavaliers ball. Amber Hill doing a good job working through several defenders trying to get her 3rd goal today. And finally, Seth, the Knights were able to force her to give up possession.
It seems like it's been a bit since Montreat has had the ball in this area of the field with a chance to score. The Knights definitely need to work on the D, pack it in. Don't give any open shots to Amber Hill or any of the other attack for the Montreat Cavaliers.
Yeah, you got a choice here. I guess defensively for the Knights, you can either pack it in and await a shot or try to get out there and really force Montreat to maybe make some passes in hopes of seeing a turnover.
Montreat has definitely had their share of turnovers in the game. I'm sure that's something Coach Weber's talking about. Make them pass the ball and try and put it in the air.
Mariah Davison was taking that shot in close. Been a while since the goalkeeper for the Knights, Torres-Lopez, has seen action right in front of her. So the Knights head back the other way here with a 6-goal lead. And they quickly advance into the attack area. Ellie Johnson with it.
You can see Coach Weber certainly has her team well conditioned. Every time the ball gets in their hands, they're streaking up the field. They don't seem to be tired or slowing down at all. They're just putting in their best effort at the moment.
Johnson was able to finally get it over to DePay. And Maddie DePay will bring it back out to Thatcher. Nice pass over to Hoteling. Her shot just too high, though.
Just tall. That was good. Good play there. I'm sure Claire wished she could have that one back that close to the goal. But good entry pass, good flow, and good passing ball movement right now by the Knights.
Yeah, that's one of those you just mentioned a second ago. Maybe one of those shots you bounce low and hope it bounces by the goalkeeper. Instead, she went high and went over the goal. That pass is too high. Still retrieved, though, by the Knights, so they still have it here with a 6-goal lead. Pass towards the middle. Comes to Lessing. Towards the middle to Thatcher. She tried to scoop that pass and shoot at the same time. Picks up the loose ball. Knights are flashing people towards the middle. Trying to hold on to it. This is Knowles with it now behind the net.
Knights are really moving well without the ball right now. Kind of like in basketball, you want to see people flashing towards the net for an opportunity to score. But that movement away from the ball is really what creates that good offense.
See Thatcher flashing through, and this time flashing in the middle was Kate Howe. But it's the Cavaliers momentarily with the possession of the ball as we close in on the 9-minute mark here in this first half of action. Good block there by Torres Lopez, the goalkeeper. Under 9 minutes to go, and the Knights with possession. Back the other way, Ellie Johnson trying to get that pass from Torres Lopez, but it went too far. And Montreat will go backwards and now start advancing. Knights trying to find a way to get the takeaway here. This is Amber Hill, number 9, who's got the only 2 goals by Montreat. Looks like she got popped on the head. And I believe maybe one of the Knights will be coming out of the game. Looks like that's Thatcher coming out.
Yeah, interesting difference between men's and women's lacrosse. You only see them wearing the goggles. They're not wearing helmets, as women's lacrosse isn't a contact sport, though you see incidents like that where maybe wearing a helmet isn't the worst idea. It can't ever feel good taking a stick to the head.
That or just running down the field, somewhere along the line you lose your footing and you hit the turf. Better maybe to have protection like those goalkeepers have.
And in today's day and age, there's so much in the news about concussions with football and the NFL, and even soccer. You see a big push to make the game safer. It's something they may consider in lacrosse.
Nice stop there by Kalani Torres Lopez with the stop, and the Knights now have possession here as we close in on the 8-minute mark. Trying to make the pass. A dangerous pass there set to make, but the Knights were able to get the pass through.
Yeah, always dangerous passing it like that and dropping the ball in front of your goal. Good effort there to scoop it up and keep the attack going.
It was Kay Abdulhai who was able to scoop it off the turf, but back comes Montreat trying to grab the ball. Knights and the Cavaliers battling for it right now, and the Cavaliers come away. Both teams here in the last few seconds having a hard time maintaining possession of the ball.
Ooh.
That was close.
That was a good catch there. Again, you never want to see the ball that close to the net, but good save by the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, you'll see that occasionally, when you watch hockey games where something goes in front of the net and off a skate, maybe a teammate skate right past the goalie into the net. So once you get anything in front of your own goal, anything can happen.
Yep. And you never like to see that. That definitely can swing momentum. So good lucky break there for the Knights.
Knights trying to work it up into a shot. It looked like one of the Knights was bumped on the way towards advancing toward the Montreat goal. Knights with a healthy advantage when it comes to not just the goals, 8-2, but now shots on goal, an 11-3 advantage as Southern Virginia gets the takeaway momentarily by Winslow. Ball still rolling on the turf. Knights had a chance to pick it up, couldn't. And now Montreat's got it. It was Davison going through three Knights, and now over on the right side, the Cavaliers with the ball, trailing here by 6. Pass towards the middle, Amber Hill, but the goalkeeper, Torres Lopez, able to grab it.
She's definitely made the adjustment there after those first 2 goals she gave up. Nothing since then. She's really dialed it in.
Torres Lopez will make the pass out. Now Zoe Bradshaw, see how far she brings it up herself. Knights in the effort to bring it up, lose it. Montreat back the other way. Montreat trying to work close for a shot. You know, Seth, since the Knights got that 8th goal, they've kind of stymied themselves on offense with turnovers mainly.
Yeah, I know they're trying to hold on to the ball. They're trying to push the attack a little bit to keep that momentum going, but as a result, they've put the ball on the ground too many times. And then trying to clean it up here as the 5-minute mark comes up left in the half.
This is Lessing with it outside, number 13 for the Knights. Passing towards the middle. That is Maddie Dupay. Didn't think she had a shot, so she passes over to Zoe Bradshaw, who's already got 3 goals today. Zoe finds an opening, but not enough of an opening to take a shot. Passes towards the middle. Over to Magic Knowles, who will bring it back out. Knights in no hurry here. They lead by 6. Let's continue occasionally to flash people towards the middle, hoping for an opening. That pass, though, is knocked away by Montreat, and let's see who will have possession here. Looks like the Knights are still going to have it with 3:39 to go till halftime. Tailing with the pass, but that went a little too far. Scooped up, though, by the Knights. Knowles basically double teamed out there. Can't find an opening. Lessing's pass down low for Dupay. Rolls away from her. That's very dominant in this first half after jumping out to a 2-0 lead. Amber Hill scored 2 goals for Montreat. Knights have scored the last 6, but neither team has scored in several minutes now. This is Dupay. Whistle blows it dead, and now Maddie Dupay, the 5'7" freshman from Utah, will start play again with 2:23 to go till halftime. Dupay scores. Nice shot.
Nice shot by Maddie Dupay there. She had a little heat behind that one. Good target, kept it nice and low, and just proved to be too much for the goalkeeper there.
And I believe that'll be her 4th goal of the season. So the Knights now extend that lead to 9-2 with 2:20 to go.
That's got to make Coach Joe Dupay happy. I know I saw him before the game up in the stands. He's got to be proud of his daughter there. She's great, aggressive, good attack. She's really focused and made the most of that opportunity.
So we've had several different players score today. Thatcher, Hoteling. Of course, Zoe Bradshaw has 3 goals today. And so the Knights have been able to jump that lead and now 9-2 with 2:18 to go here in this first half of action. I want to remind folks that gear.svu.edu, the place to get your official Southern Virginia University athletic apparel. And for a limited time, all sweatshirts are 10% off. Don't forget, coming up next Wednesday, we've got a lacrosse doubleheader. First game, 4 o'clock. It'll be the men taking on the Merchant Marine. I believe that'll be the Merchant Marine's first game of the season, and hopefully Jason Lamb, if they can defeat Birmingham Southern today, Seth, will go into that game with a bit of a winning streak. And then in the second game next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we've got women's lacrosse action as the Knights will take on Emmanuel.
Yeah, Jim, you and I spent a little time with Coach Lamb on Thursday. We were talking about the season a little bit. Obviously a disappointing game against Guilford last week, but we know he was really excited for the Bridgewater game, which his team proved to show up and make the most of that situation, that opportunity. He's really excited going forward. Feels like he's got a really strong squad this year, and hopefully they'll keep that going as they enter into their conference play.
And it was great to see them win that game in overtime because I believe Bridgewater scored with 6 seconds to go to tie the game, to send the game into overtime. And you had to know if they had lost that game in overtime, that would have been a very tough loss to take, especially when they gave up the 1-goal lead in regulation with just 6 seconds to go in regulation. So it was good to see the Knights grab that win in overtime.
And the best teams, they fight through that adversity. It's kind of what you do when your back's against the wall, when things don't go your way. Do you lay down or do you come back swinging? And the Knights definitely proved what they're made of there. Hopefully, you'll see that going forward the rest of the season.
And then 1 week from today, we'll have softball for you. Of course, we were expected to have softball against Roanoke on Wednesday, but they were, because of the rain and the wind, forced to cancel until on Thursday when they played that doubleheader on Thursday. And the Knights were able to win the first game, lose the second game, and we'll see them in softball action coming up a week from today when they'll be hosting Wilson in a doubleheader. We'll have both games for you next Saturday, March the 11th. See some of the girls having fun out there, Seth. I believe that was Abdullah High.
And they got to be excited. Anytime you can be out playing the sport you love in the sunshine like this. I know it's a little chilly, but it's still a beautiful day up here at the fields.
You probably don't feel the chills as much when you're heading on the 2 as opposed to obviously trailing on the 2.
Yeah, definitely. This is probably perfect weather for them in their minds. It's definitely a good day so far to be a part of the women's lacrosse team.
Magic Knolls will take this draw for the Knights. Amber Hill for the Cavaliers. The Knights have done a pretty good job on face-offs today. They'll try to gain possession and get their 10th goal of the game. Ball loose again. See who comes out of there with it. Kelly Johnson came close to getting it, but it looks like Montreat momentarily with it. Amber Hill lost it. It's on the ground, still being battled for. And now the Knights have it. That's Hoteling with it. Over to Dupay. Pass to Zoe Bradshaw, knocked out. Now Zoe will resume play. She maybe tries to make her own drive through a couple of defenders, took a swipe to the head. I'm sure they were trying to go for the ball, Seth, but we've seen Zoe take some punishment, not just today, but really over her career.
Well, and that'll happen when clearly Zoe has the athletic advantage in that situation as she split the defenders there. In a wild attempt to slow her down, accidentally took a shot to the head. But you see that when you've got the defense on their heels, their fundamentals start to break down, and things like that take place, unfortunately. But she's tough. Zoe's going strong still, fighting through the pain, and still being a real strong force there for her team.
Yeah, Tiger Breeden, number 3, 5'11", coming off the field after that play. So here come the Knights with the advantage again and a 7-goal lead. Trying to add maybe 1 or 2 goals before halftime. Knights have 12 shots on goal, 9 goals. Zoe Bradshaw's got 3 of them. Zoe works through a couple of defenders, now works towards the back of the goal. Trying to make a pass. Does to Hoteling. Shot. Knocked away. And Clear got interfered with, bumped when she was taking that shot, so she'll take it here with 1:18 to go till halftime. Hoteling not able to get the shot. Zoe Bradshaw will take it out for the Knights.
Yeah, trying to skip it off the turf there, like we mentioned before. A little too far in front of the goal, though. You kind of want to bounce that as it's going into the goal. Makes it a little tougher.
Bradshaw going from all the way from the behind, all the way out front, weaving through defenders. Nice move by Zoe Bradshaw, getting free. Not enough to take a shot, though. Passes from right to left to Hoteling, and she scores. That'll be at least her 2nd goal today, and the Knights now have their 10th goal of the game at a 10-2 lead with 52 seconds left.
And I'll tell you, that was a good look, a good pass by Zoe Bradshaw, but it was almost an even better catch by Hoteling there in traffic, had a defender in her face, but with that concentration, she caught the ball and was able to score and put it in the back of the net. Really impressive offense there by the Knights.
She came in with 17 goals this season. Claire had 17 goals last season. I believe she's got 2 today, and the Knights now own a 10-2 lead. That's their biggest lead so far this first half.
And always good, feels good to get a goal in the final minute of the half. Make sure you solidify that momentum and carry it in going into the second half. I just want to see the Knights play some solid defense here and even grab the ball and make another attempt at the goal right before the buzzer goes off.
Yeah, Magic Knowles will take the draw here for the Knights. Just 50 seconds to go till halftime. Yeah, Knowles had it. Tries to scoop it up.
Knowles has been a really good, strong presence in the middle of the field for the Knights this game, too. She's a good effort, hustle player to scoop those balls up in traffic. Doing a really nice kind of unsung hero type of effort for Knowles right now. I'm sure that Coach Weber appreciates.
And she's a 5'8" sophomore out of Owings, Maryland. Here come the Knights with 40 seconds to go till halftime. They work it over to Hoteling on the left side. See if Southern Virginia can get that 11th goal before halftime arrives. 24 seconds on the clock here. Hoteling works towards the middle. Doesn't take any shot. 14 seconds to go. See if the Knights can get a shot off here. Down to 10. Zoe Bradshaw running towards the goal. 5 seconds. Don't think the Knights are going to get that shot off. and they won't. And so we are at halftime, and the Knights own a 10-2 lead over Montreat here, Seth, at halftime, as the Knights were able to score the first 2 goals of the game. Amber Hill for Montreat came back with a couple of goals, and then the Knights were able to run off 8 straight goals, and Montreat, outside of maybe 1 or 2 occasions, just not able to really get any offense after Amber Hill got those 2 goals for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Coach Weber has definitely dialed in the defense she's drawn up to stop Amber Hill, slow down that Montreat attack. And on the flip side, they're playing great offense, the Knights are. Just good passes, clean passes, not trying to force anything irresponsible, but finding the open player down low, and they've definitely made the most of it. The scoreboard obviously reflects that right now.
You can see the Knights with 13 shots on goal, just 3 shots on goal for the Cavaliers, and the Knights did a pretty good job of spreading it around. Zoe Bradshaw, Claire Hoteling, just to name a couple of the people that had goals. I believe Knowles also had a goal, and Thatcher had some goals to begin the game. So Knights are getting good balanced scoring for the most part.
Yeah, spreading the ball around is key. Moving without the ball, just everything going really well for them right now. They've got a good flow of the game, and it's good to see them playing very strong like this after coming off the win at Hollins. This is the kind of game you want to see them respond. You didn't want to see them relax or take a step backwards. They're definitely taking steps forward this season.
Yeah, and the halftime score once again into Southern Virginia 10 and Montreat 2. We'll take a break for these messages here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. Jim Bresnahan, Seth Hansen, welcome back to the fields at Southern Virginia University. 10-2, the Knights lead Montreat here at halftime. We're just seconds away from getting the second half underway. Knights dominating in every category. They got goals in that first half. 3 from Zoe Bradshaw, 2 from Claire Hoteling, also 2 from Lauren Thatcher, and a goal from Ellie Johnson, and also Magic Knowles. And Maddie Dupay also had a goal. And again, Zoe Bradshaw had 3 to lead the team. And so you look at the categories here, Seth, the shots by period. Southern Virginia 18 in that first half. Montreat had just 3 shots. Knights with the advantage in ground balls, 26-9. Also had the advantage in clears. Montreat had 3 saves. The Knights only had to make 1 save. Their goalkeeper, Kay Torres Lopez, only needed to make 1 save, and she did allow 2 goals to Amber Hill. Montreat had 19 turnovers in that first half. SVU had 14. And Montreat had 17 fouls in that first half, and the Knights only had 4.
Yeah, Montreat hasn't had much of an answer for this SVU Southern Virginia attack. They're moving the ball well, and on the flip side, the Knights have been able to shut down and keep the time of possession away from Montreat. Something that I'm sure they're going to try and build upon going into this half.
Knights have an 8-goal advantage, and of course in women's lacrosse, once that advantage goes to 10, clock will run. It'll stop running, I believe, once it goes under 10, but as long as it stays 10 or more, the clock will constantly run. Knights are 2 goals away from that. Knights were able to score the first 2 goals of the first half. Montreat came back with those Amber Hill goals to make it 2-2, and then the Knights were able to run off 8 straight goals, and now they're quickly looking to get a goal here to start the second half.
And with a lead like this in the second half, I'm sure Coach Weber just wants to see her team play good fundamental lacrosse. Nice passes, good offense, looking for those cuts, and just work on the fundamentals here as they fine-tune everything as they go forward in their conference play.
And we mentioned at the very beginning today that Montreat, Seth, came only with 11 players today on their roster. So that's obviously handicapped them today. Montreat came in 0-3 on the season. The Knights 1-3 on the season. Claire Hoteling with it behind the goal. And Claire had 2 goals in the first half with 5 shots, 2 shots on goal. Nice pass over the middle, knocked away. That was Winslow who had it, lost it. Boy, if Emily had been able to hang on to that ball, Seth, she might have picked up her first goal today.
Yeah, it was a good entry pass there, good cut. Unfortunately, the ball kind of popped out of the net there, but those are the kind of looks that you're hoping for on offense.
Play just about a minute and a half here in the second half. Knights on top here, 10-2. Winslow takes the shot and scores.
That was a good rip there by Winslow. She definitely had some heat behind it. Good fundamental shot there, just focused, and nice placement there on the net.
And I do believe that is her first goal of the season. And the senior able to get the goal from Orem, Utah, and she makes it 11-2 Knights. So the Knights now have their biggest lead so far today at 11-2. Knights hoping to get this win today to turn it into a 2-game winning streak after beating Collins on Tuesday 18-9. And again, the Knights will be taking on Emmanuel, Georgia, coming up on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, following the men's contest with Merchant Marine at 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. Doubleheader lacrosse action we'll have for you coming up next Wednesday. So Winslow, who just scored the goal, now with the draw, and the Knights on top here 11-2. Knights had it, lost it. Now they pick it up again. That's Maddie Dupay with it. She tried to fire that pass back to Abdullah. And now the Knights will work it up the field to Lessing. Over to Magic Knowles. Winslow tries to pass in the middle. Ball's knocked away, rolling on the ground, momentarily was scooped up by the Cavaliers, but Zoe Bradshaw was able to swat it away and come right back. Now here comes Zoe in the middle with 3 goals today.
And that one almost bounced in there. That was an entry pass there by Zoe Bradshaw. Almost found its way into the back of the net.
Scooped up, though, by Knowles, and she fires over, and the shot by Lessing is in. So the Knights have just scored their 12th goal. As that time it was the senior Lessing from San Jose, California, the 5'6" senior, scoring to make it 12-2 Knights. Lessing gets her first goal today, 5th of the season, and the Knights now lead here 12-2. And so there's that 10-goal advantage, Seth, where we see the clock running now.
Yeah, and it's good to see here. We want to see the Knights work it to some of the players who don't touch the ball as much on offense. It'd be good to get them involved and get them some more touches, more experience, and so they can be more comfortable with the ball in front of the net there.
We'll hope to hear from Coach Nancy Weber in the post-game show, get her thoughts on this one today. And what looks like it's going to be a 2-game winning streak now for the Knights. And then, obviously, her thoughts on next Wednesday's game against Emmanuel. They won't be back into capital play, though, for some time until March the 23rd against Christopher Newport. A lot of non-conference action, including that trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina on the 15th and 16th, and then a home game against Randolph on the 21st.
And it's good. These non-conference games, obviously you want to win every game you can, but these non-conference games are good to fine-tune everything you can to make sure you're putting out your best product for those conference games that are so important.
Ten-goal lead here for the Knights in the second half. Montreat was able to get 2 goals from Amber Hill in the first half. They haven't scored since. In fact, Hill had not only both goals, but all 3 shots on goal for Montreat. That time, that shot taken by a different player, by Catherine Harper, but knocked away. Been a relatively easy day for the goalkeeper for Southern Virginia and Kay Torres Lopez. Hasn't really faced a whole lot of shot barrages from Montreat, although Montreat is down in the offensive area now.
Some contact there. Hopefully the Montreat player down. Hopefully she's okay. Looks like Amber Hill.
Took a shot in the head maybe from Emily Winslow.
Good to see her.
Purely accidental, obviously, but
good to see her getting up. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Well, as we talked about, just about in every sport, head contact really become a huge concern these days.
And as it should, you don't want to mess around with concussions and things that can lead to brain damage. I think it's good. It's good to see that in sports, that they're taking it so seriously and making it such a concern.
Hill trying to pass in the middle with her team trailing by 10. Knights are able to take it away. That's Thatcher with it. She works it up to Lessing. Ashley Lessing working it upfield into the offensive zone over to Ellie Johnson.
Nice pass there. Ooh, good save.
Magic Knowles had it point blank and could not make the shot.
That was starting to look like a sure Knights goal there. Good pass by Maddie Dupay down to Magic, but a really big stop by the goalkeeper there for Montreat.
This will get Zoe Bradshaw. Will allow Montreat to maintain possession and move it upfield here. Knights able to knock it away. And back come the Knights with the ball. Although that pass from Dupay, aiming to get it over to Lessing, sails over her head. Right now, Seth Montreat just simply wants to get their third goal of the game. Been quite some time since they were able to score. Now we have a collision between Zoe Bradshaw and one of the Montreat players, Alex Hernandez. That was totally by accident. They just basically ran into each other.
Yeah, both playing hard, going for the ball. That'll happen. It happens in all sports. Just good to see both players up and walking away okay.
That's trying to steal that ball. Winslow right there with the defense. One of the Montreat players also lost their cross. Here comes Zoe Bradshaw in a hurry. It's another advantage that Zoe has. She can run all day, it seems, without getting tired.
Yeah, definitely causing problems for that Montreat defense.
Bradshaw, nice pass. Got it into the middle to Ellie Johnson. Johnson tries to work by a couple of defenders. We're going to say she was bumped on her way through defenders. See if Ellie Johnson will take a shot here. Tried to fire that one low, knocked away. Been a long day for Moyes, the goalkeeper here for Montreat, Seth, as she's faced a lot of shots from the Knights.
Yeah, and that's obviously the score isn't totally on her. That defense for Montreat needs to pack it in and stop some of those entry passes. Moyes just doing the best she can to try and stop the ball as it comes close to her frequently.
And Bradshaw, who's already got 3 goals today, just weaving in and around defenders, trying to find an opening, either to pass or to shoot. Nice pass there. She got it over. And a goal by the Knights. That will be Maddie Dupay. And Maddie Dupay looks like she just picked up her second goal today.
That was really good by Zoe. She knows that defense is focusing on her. They're following her wherever she goes. It looked like she was going to turn around and rip a shot there. But instead, with the unselfish play, finds Maddie Dupay right in front of the net. And Maddie keeping her composure and just finding the empty hole to hit it in the back of the net.
Yeah, Zoe Bradshaw just really presents so many concerns for any kind of defense, because when she's moving around like that and weaving in and around defenders, you don't know if she's going to make a pass or maybe take a shot.
Yeah, she's really got the defense on their heels, and that's the worst as a defender. When you're trying to guard an athlete who can go left, right, backwards, forwards, and she can even dish it off and make a nice pass to help her team get that goal there. She's going to be huge going forward in the season. She's really setting herself apart as a force on this team. She's going to become someone they rally behind as they enter into tough conference play. But they're definitely excited about what they see here today.
That conference play really starts in earnest on March the 23rd with a home game against CNU, followed by that road contest on the 25th at Salisbury. Home game against Marymount on March the 29th. And then road games on April the 1st against Mary Washington, the 5th of April at Frostburg, 8th of April at York, before they wrap up the season on the 15th at home against Wesley in April. Of course, the Knights lost their capital opener against St. Mary's back on the 18th of February, losing that game 21-1. So we know how tough the Capital Conference can be for women's lacrosse, and maybe their toughest game of the year is expected to be on March the 25th at Salisbury. What a tall order that's going to be.
Yeah, that's Salisbury. Salisbury is good program all the way around in all their athletics. Lacrosse being really well known. Teams know when they head up that way. You've got to bring your best effort. You've got to play sound, good lacrosse. You can't put the ball on the ground. You can't make any mistakes because they'll take advantage of it.
Well, we've got this time out on the field. We can make mention that gear.svu.edu, the place to get your official Southern Virginia University athletic apparel. And for a limited time now, all sweatshirts, again, are 10% off. See one of the Montreat players with the ice pack. And we've had a few players today, Seth, take shots in and around the head. Could be the top of the head, could be the jaws. That looked like that Montreat player was treating.
Yeah, you never want to see any injuries, especially in that area. It's a good testament, though. When you see those kind of collisions happening, people are just playing hard, giving their full effort, which is what you want to see. You want to see your players compete, regardless of the score and the situation. You want to see them give it their all and, try and bring the momentum back to your side.
And the Knights scored the first 2 goals today. Montreat came back with 2 goals from Amber Hill. And since then, since it was 2-2, it's been all Southern Virginia. Knights led 10-2 at halftime. They have scored 3 times so far here in the second half. And right now the Knights have an 11-goal lead.
Jim, you mentioned we've got all those sweatshirts there at gear.svu.edu, and we've got those sweatshirts in the bookstore. It'd be about right about now. We have to go pick one up after the game.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Although, as you mentioned, maybe it helps to have that 11-goal lead, but a lot of the girls out here are playing in shorts, and it's, like I say, I don't think it was supposed to go past 45 or 46 degrees. And you also maybe factor in a slight wind, and it's really cold out there. Well, as we mentioned also that baseball's in action today, doubleheader on the road at Myrtle Beach. Of course, the women are headed to Hilton Head, South Carolina in March as well, women's lacrosse team. Men's volleyball in action a week from yesterday, playing on the road at King, Tennessee. Miss Hoteling tried to make that pass. Both teams battling for it. But how about men's volleyball, though, with that winning streak? They've won 15 in a row now, 17-4 on the season.
You talk about an inaugural season, can't go any better than it has. Really excited about that program here at Southern Virginia.
Boy, nice goal there by Montreat all the way through all those defenders for her 3rd goal today. And her 4th goal of the season was Amber Hill. And that looked like the Amber Hill that we saw way back early in the first half, just the way she was able to go through 2 or 3 defenders on her way upfield.
And you see Amber Hill with those long strides down the field. Once she gets going, she's tough to stop. She's got really fundamental sound stick skills there, weaving in and out of defenders. Something that I'm sure Coach Weber doesn't like to see. I'm sure that'll be something she'll coach from the sideline, trying to get her players dialed in on defense.
And so that brings the margin back to 10. As long as it stays above 10, the clock runs. If it goes under 10, I believe the clock goes back to normal operation. And right now the Knights, who led 10-2 at halftime, have outscored Montreat now in the second half 3-1 so far. This will be Emily Winslow, the senior, taking the draw here for the Knights. Against Miranda Walker, a senior attack for the Montreat Cavaliers. See who will gain possession here after the scramble for that ball.
There are helmets. You can get helmets. But they're just not, they're not required by the rules of the game.
Montreat, having just scored, now has possession, trailing by 10. Their problem really, though, has been trying to get any offense outside of Amber Hill, who's got all 3 goals for Montreat today. Montreat quickly works it up in towards the attack area as the Cavaliers look for an opportunity here to try to cut into this 10-goal deficit. They have 4 shots on goal. Knights with 16 shots on goal, though, for the game. Well, the Knights look like they're really aggressively trying to force the action here. That was Madeline Krause really trying to work for the ball as the Knights really are pressuring the ball right now. Good effort there by Winslow to take it away from Montreat. That's over to Ashley Lessing now, and Lessing will take a page out of Amber Hill and really work it upfield in a hurry, blowing by defenders, and the shot is knocked away by the goalkeeper, Moyes. Good effort, though, by Lessing to really quickly go from midfield into the attack area. Let's get it on the turnover. Zoe Bradshaw. Oh, I'm surprised she didn't take that shot, Seth.
It looked like she had an open net there, but decided to pull it back and kind of set up the offense. But good effort. You kind of just see her all over the field. That's the kind of player she is. She's tenacious and always looking for an opportunity to make an impact on the game.
Tried to make that pass to Ellie Johnson, went by her. So Claire Hoteling from the left side now. Hoteling looks for an opportunity to score. Goes from left to right. Does not take the shot, though. Nice pass in the middle, but it looked like Lessing was not able to get control of that pass. Yeah, now Amber Hill working on Zoe Bradshaw. Good matchup there. Hill trying to work maybe for her fourth goal today. Takes the shot. Nice stop, though, by Torres Lopez.
That was a good save there. Good hand-eye coordination. She was right in front of the net, but she bared down and stood strong to make that save.
Hoteling works it up to Lessing. I know we've talked a lot about the goal scorers like Zoe Bradshaw and Claire Hoteling, just to name a few, but you know, Lessing and Winslow, they've handled the ball quite a lot today. Lessing with the ball right now, a 5'6" senior out of San Jose, California. And now Magic Knowles has it for the Knights. And with this big lead here, Seth, the Knights are in no hurry just to kind of basically take some of the I guess you could say the time off the clock without running up the score at all.
Yeah, I definitely think this is partly a sportsmanship play with a 10-goal lead. There's no need to be ripping shot after shot on the net. But it's still an opportunity to kind of work your offense, work some of those passes around, make sure that your fundamentals are going strong, and as well as run the clock as much as you can.
Knights try to pass it in the middle, but it was knocked away by Montreat. Again, men's lacrosse is in action today. They're in Knoxville, Tennessee, playing Birmingham Southern. And men's baseball is in action today, doubleheader from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So men's lacrosse in action, baseball in action, women's lacrosse here in action today. But no softball and no men's volleyball on tap today. Do have the Division III basketball tournaments underway, and I believe for the men, CNU was able to win yesterday along with Salisbury. And for the women, I believe Marymount, CNU, and Mary Washington all won on Friday. And today, I believe, is the second round. So the Capital Conference doing pretty well in the Division III basketball tournament early on, and Amber Hill just picked up her 4th goal.
And she's been pretty much their only offense today. I know they're grateful that she's on the team and making plays as she has. The Knights have done a good job shutting everyone else down, but it felt like for a bit there they had a good game plan to shut her down, but clearly they found something in the second half that's kind of got her loose and had some good scoring opportunities.
Montreat, though, I mean, they had scored 3 goals in 3 games coming in today, and Hill only had 1 goal of those 3 goals, and here they have scored 4 goals, and she's got all 4.
Yeah, she definitely came ready to play today. Coach Weber, I'm sure, isn't super happy, super thrilled with a couple of these goals in the second half. Again, this is a time to work on the things that you need going forward in the season. I'm sure she's be coaching that from the sideline right now.
And so the Knights, who had a 13-2 lead, their biggest lead was 11 today so far. That lead now is at 9, as Ashley Lessing will bring it upfield in a hurry. Looks to score, but that ball is just off to the left. Ellie Johnson on the left side for the Knights.
Their burgers are good. You gotta get, like, if you order the specials, if you order them special, they usually end up a little bit better.
Zoe Bradshaw had 3 goals at halftime. Don't believe she scored here in the second half. Here comes Zoe. She scores.
Right on cue, Zoe Bradshaw decides to take over and slide in there for the goal.
Her 4th of the day. And so Zoe now for the season, 14 goals. And this is the 5th game of the season for the Knights. Of course, last year Zoe had 43 goals.
So it's no surprise that she's leading the team right now. When you watch her play, when she decides to make her attack, she just has a really quick first couple of steps that the defenders can't seem to match and keep up with. That really gives her an advantage trying to slide in through the defense. Just playing really well today, seeing the field well.
I know she likes to pass, too, to keep her teammates involved. Plus, obviously, the more she passes successfully, the more the teams have to respect her taking shots when she's weaving through defenders as well as making that pass. So I'm sure that Zoe loves to score goals, but I'm sure she also likes to distribute to her teammates, if for no other reason, just to keep the defense guessing.
Yeah, keeping the defense guessing is huge in lacrosse here, and she's done a nice job of that today. Really, really good display of offensive work by Zoe Bradshaw.
And so the Knights are back on top by 10 here, as Winslow takes the draw for the Knights. Both teams still battling for the ball right now. Here come the Knights. 10-goal lead. Zoe Bradshaw in and around defenders. Works towards the middle now. Knocked away after they tried to pass that ball to Ellie Johnson. Knights regain possession. Nice pass to Claire Hoteling, and she scores.
Good find there. Hoteling was just sitting there in front of the net, wide open shot.
Yeah, I was going to say, good positioning by Claire, but that pass obviously was the key.
And that's so important. They've done a really good job of that today, too. I know Montreat hasn't had the best season so far, but you really want to see your team with their eyes up when they have the ball, looking for that clutch pass that'll put them right in front of the net. So Southern Virginia doing a good job. This is kind of what you would hope to see against a program like Montreat. Really effective on offense, efficient, clean passes, as we've mentioned before, and that was a perfect example of it right there.
And Claire Hoteling is starting to build her goals scored this season. She had 2 at halftime, just scored 1 there, leads the Knights now 15-4. matching their biggest lead so far today, 11. They led 10-2 at halftime, got the lead to 13-2. Montreat got a couple of goals, and now the Knights have scored 2 in a row. I want to remind folks again about all sweatshirts, 10% off for a limited time at gear.svu.edu. It's the place to get your official Southern Virginia University Knights athletic apparel. That is gear.svu.edu. Knights with possession and an 11-goal lead. They'll be in action against Emmanuel out of Georgia coming up Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, in a doubleheader. The men's game will be at 4 o'clock against Merchant Marine. And I believe Coach Lamb told us the other day, Seth, that that'll be Merchant Marine's first game of the season. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the opposition on Wednesday.
Yeah, kind of a late start. You'd imagine that's kind of a disadvantage for them, though their players might be a little more fresh, not feeling as sore. But Coach Lamb really has his team in a groove as they're building on that win in Bridgewater. So you're right, Jim. It's going to be an interesting matchup to see that kind of dynamic between the two teams.
Well, Jason Lamb's team is in action today in Knoxville, Tennessee, taking on Birmingham Southern. They'll hope to get the win there and enter that Merchant Marine game on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. With that winning streak, is Emmanuel, or make that Montreat is able to get the goal here. Someone other than Amber Hill gets it, and that was Emily Warren. I believe that is her first goal of the season. The freshman coming in from the left side, scoring to make it 15-5 now. So the first goal by someone other than Amber Hill today for the Cavaliers of Montreat. And that time it looked like, again, the freshman getting the goal, Emily Warren, just came in from the left side and really wasn't bothered defensively and was able to get that point-blank shot.
Yeah, that was good work by Montreat there. Haven't seen a ton of offense outside of Amber Hill, but it was good to see someone step up and find that hole in the defense there and make the most of it. I'm sure Southern Virginia wants to answer back here. Even with a 10-goal lead, they still want to play some solid defense and solid offense here as we go forward.
And Emily Winslow will take the draw here for the Knights. Knights have outscored Montreat here in the second half 5-3 after leading 10-2 at halftime. And Amber Hill weaves through defenders again, gets close. And I believe the save. It looks like Hill threw down her stick like she got a goal, and that would be her fifth today, I believe. So Hill scores again. Amber Hill now with 5 today and 6 goals for the season. So no sooner did the Knights respond with 2 goals once it was a 13-4 game to make it 15-4. That Montreat comes right back with a couple of goals to make it 15-6.
And as good as the Knights have played today, there's certainly some room for improvement here. I'm sure Coach Weber will go back and look at the film of this game and see where they can clean up and fine-tune things in practice this week. Good effort, though. You want to see them still fighting to the end of the whistle.
Knights will be awarded possession. So we'll see if Southern Virginia can respond with a goal of its own after Montreat has been able to put together 2 straight goals as Zoe Bradshaw hits the turf. Bradshaw, nice pass to Ellie Johnson, and she scores. And I believe that is going to be her second goal today.
And as you mentioned before, Jim, as an effective Scorer, as effective as Zoe Bradshaw is, she's just as deadly with that entry pass there. Her teammates know that. They just got to give her an opportunity to have a good pass inside, and Allie Johnson did that, just planting herself in front of the net, and Zoe Bradshaw found her.
You can see how excited she is. I believe that is her third goal this season. And it's also positioning, too, making sure if Zoe's got the ball that you're in the right place to receive that pass.
Yeah, you certainly have to have your head on a swivel if you're the Knights. Whenever Zoe's got the ball, it feels like anybody's eligible to receive a pass from her, so you got to be aware and make sure like you said, you're in the right positioning.
So the Knights are back to a 10-goal lead here, 16-6. It was a 10-2 game at halftime. Knights have extended the lead to 11 on a couple of occasions at 13-2 and 15-4. Montreat able to get some goals here in the second half. 4 to be exact, after having 2 in the first half. And we are under 3 minutes to go in the game now, with the Knights on top here 16-6. Pass across the goal, meant towards a Montreat teammate, but sailed high. Still, the Cavaliers have possession. Shots on goal, Montreat 8. 20 shots on goal for the Knights, as they've got possession again. Maybe hoping to score one more if they want to before the end of this game. This is Lessing upfield. She's controlling the ball all the way upfield, looking for a teammate now to pass to. Right across the middle, Dupay, and she scores. So Maddie Dupay with the goal, and that was a great pass by Lessing.
That's so tough to defend, so tough for the goalkeeper there. When the ball is behind you, behind the net, and all of a sudden it's right in front of you, it's really hard to locate it and make the stop. So way to take advantage there. Good heads-up play by both players there for the Knights.
And the Knights extend that lead back to 11. Now it's 17-6. Matching their biggest lead today. So Winslow will take the draw here for the Knights. Matched up against Amber Hill, who has 5 goals today. Zoe Bradshaw leads the Knights with 4 goals. Knights get possession. Zoe Bradshaw has it.
And with a minute left and an 11-goal lead, you see Zoe Bradshaw. She's always playing at 100%. It's just the kind of competitor she is, and that's the kind of leadership you need on your team.
Clearho tailing with it now. And right now, it looks like the Knights might be just content to kind of spread it around the perimeter here, Seth, and make this a final of 17-6. See if the Knights take a shot here before the horn sounds for the end of the game. Winslow with it right now. Knights look content maybe to let it go. They pass it over to Knowles in the middle, and that is it. Knights are victorious today. Impressive effort by the Knights as they defeat Montreat 17-6. And with the victory, the Knights have a winning streak now. They have won 2 in a row. They defeated Hollins on Tuesday by a final of 18-9, and they defeat Montreat here 17-6. The Knights are now 2-3 on the season. Seth, and Montreat now drops to 0-4 on the season.
Yeah, the win really big. It's always nice to be on a win streak. It just makes you feel good as you go into practice this week and heading into the next game, which will be really big. It's an opportunity for them to get their record to 500 on the year. But good, strong effort today. Good to see the girls playing clean, fundamental lacrosse against a team that they felt like they had a real good advantage against, and they proved it here today.
And they'll be facing next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Emmanuel out of Georgia. So Obviously the opposition will get tougher and tougher as they get deeper and deeper into the season, and of course all those capital games are just around the corner. They've already played one capital game, but the meat of the conference schedule will happen basically almost late March, right on through April.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Weber's message has to be we've just got to take it one game at a time. Let's get as clean and fundamentally sound as we can up until that conference play when it really matters. But nice little win streak they've got going here that they can enjoy. And good to see that momentum as they carry on through the season.
And so the Knights win it 17-6. Stay tuned for the post-game show. We hope to hear from Nancy Weber, the head coach of the Knights, as the Knights defeat Montreat 17-6 today. We'll break away for this timeout and hear from these messages. Again, stay tuned for our post-game show here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. We'll take this timeout from the fields at Southern Virginia University. Welcome back to the fields at Southern Virginia University. Jim Bresnahan, Seth Hansen back here with you. And again, Southern Virginia victorious today in women's lacrosse action, defeating Montreat 17-6. And we're now joined by Nancy Weber, the head coach of the women's lacrosse team. And Nancy, congratulations on the win. And how about your impressions? What pleased you the most today?
Thank you very much for inviting me in here today. We're really proud of the group effort. One of our goals, even in our win against Hollins, we were, of course, grateful for the win, but we didn't feel like we played like a group and a team. And today our goal was to make sure that we did that. We also focused a lot on ground balls. We looked at our stats from last year during the same game, and we didn't have as many as ground balls as we wanted. So I think you could see that focus today on the field, and we're very, very proud of the girls executing in that manner today.
Yeah, I mean, anybody really impress you? I mean, Zoe Bradshaw, obviously, the goal scoring, and Claire Hoteling. But, obviously, I thought Lessing and Winslow did a great job controlling the ball, too.
Absolutely. The control in the midfield and Maddie Dupay as well, really, especially in the first half, did a great job with getting a lot of those midfield catches and ground balls. I mean, to that point, I can almost list every single one of the players. We had, because of our lower numbers, we had everybody switching. You might have noticed that one moment they were playing attack only, then they were playing defense only, then they were playing midi. The other team has had some hardships this year, and they only had 11 players to show up today, and we had every right to play 12, but we opted that we wanted to be sportsmen, and so we matched that and had 11 on the field as well.
Of course, you've had personnel problems, too.
Yes, we have. Both of the coaches and I spoke before the game, and we both had 20 on our roster in January, and both of us came today. We had 13 and she had 11. So it's nice to have that camaraderie, that respect for one another, and to say, let's play this game fair and give each team an opportunity to do their very best. And we both felt really good about the outcome because of that.
Coach Weber, again, it looked like in here Jim and I were talking about the effort that your players displayed. What do you think, as you're on a 2-game win streak right now, what do you think going forward are some of the things you could focus on as a team?
I think a lot of what happened today, a lot of sharing, a lot of selflessness, a lot of being patient with the ball. I think a couple of times you probably noticed there were moments where the games got a little out of control, a little sloppy, and we really kept yelling out to the girls, settle it, breathe, be patient, wait for that opportunity. Don't just take a shot. Don't just give that pass. Make sure that it's the best pass, the best shot. And that's something we've really been spending a lot of time working on, is making sure that we're not just throwing the ball away quickly. We're making sure that we're getting that best opportunity to happen. We're really excited about Emmanuel on next week. This happens to be a team that I coached their coach when she was growing up here. She's from Roanoke area and is now coaching Emmanuel. So we're super, super excited to have them come and host them next week and be able to see what they've been able to do with their program. So and hopefully we'll be able to bring a lot of these skill set. We're hoping a couple of our injured players might be back, fingers crossed. But either way, we'll take care of what we need to do and hopefully have a lot of the success from this game pass on to that next game.
I was going to ask you, what's more exciting, taking on Emmanuel Wednesday or making that trip to Hilton Head?
Yeah, we're pretty excited about Hilton Head as well. The competition down there will be super fun, although we've been spoiled with the weather recently around here. But no, we're excited for all of it. Yeah, these next 4 or 5 games are out-of-conference games, and that's really fun for us. That's where we get to really see if all the work that we've put in is able to be demonstrated out on the field and have that opportunity to have the girls experience that level of lacrosse.
So lastly, going forward, is there 1 or 2 areas you need to work on as a team before you really get into your capital schedule?
We ran a lot of plays today and trying to test those out. So we're definitely going to try to implement that. One of our big coaching goals for our team is the ride, which is defending after there's a save for the other team and being able to keep that ball down on our offensive end. And so just keeping those things in mind, getting some of our newer players up to speed with our experienced players is probably our biggest objective over these next couple of weeks.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good
We
luck on
appreciate
Wednesday,
you guys.
too.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Nancy Weber right there, and her team victorious 17-6 today, defeating Montreat. And Seth, now, as we talked about, we've got that doubleheader coming up on Wednesday. The women taking on Emmanuel Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and then also the men at 4 o'clock taking on Merchant Marine.
Yeah, and both teams coming off wins. We know the men are playing today. The women obviously are on a 2-game win streak now, so it should be a good next weekend of lacrosse as the programs are coming on strong. Hopefully they'll build on that momentum that they've created.
So again, join us for men's and women's lacrosse next Wednesday. Doubleheader, 4 o'clock men, and the women's game at 7 o'clock. Final again here today. Southern Virginia University victorious over Montreat, 17-6, and that'll wrap things up here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. For Seth Hansen, Josh Adams, and all of our production staff here at SVU, thanks again for joining us for women's lacrosse action. The Knights victorious, defeating Montreat. The final again, Southern Virginia 17 and Montreat 6.